Sigma males quietly rewrite the love story. They value depth over drama, mystery over noise, and authenticity over attention. Unlike alpha males who may assert dominance in relationships or betas who seek validation, sigmas don't conform to these patterns. They walk alone, not because they can't find love, but because they're unwilling to settle for anything less than truth. A sigma male's love isn't about possession or control, it's about alignment, emotional and intellectual alignment. He doesn't pursue someone to fill a void. He's already whole. That's the power of his love. It flows from abundance, not desperation. When he gives love, it's pure, intentional, and untainted by ego. Studies on attachment theory show that secure individuals form the healthiest bonds. Sigma males often develop this security through deep self-awareness and independence. This allows them to love without clinging, to connect without losing themselves. They don't fall for surface-level attraction. Instead, they fall for someone's essence, their values, energy, soul, and how they treat others when no one's watching. This approach makes their love not only rare, but deeply transformative. When a Sigma loves you, you feel seen, not for your appearance or achievements, but for your core. And that's what makes their connection legendary. It's not just romantic, it's soul-level, the kind that transcends time, filters, and expectations. So, before asking how a Sigma finds his soulmate, remember this. He's not chasing love, he's cultivating it. And when it shows up, it's not loud or boastful, it's quiet, intense, and unforgettable. Point 2. Sigma love isn't for everyone, and that's a good thing. Let's be brutally honest, not everyone is built to handle a Sigma male's love, and that's not arrogance, it's reality. Sigma males love differently. Their love isn't clingy or performative, it's grounded, rare, and deeply intentional. Unlike alpha males who may dominate or betas who may seek validation, Sigmas operate on a unique emotional frequency, independent, introspective, and mysterious. Their love thrives on intellectual depth and emotional maturity. One minute you're having a conversation about the nature of time, the next you're in comfortable silence under the stars. That silence, it's not awkward, it's sacred. A Sigma doesn't fill space with noise. He values presence over performance. They're not into texting all day or constantly updating you on every move. Why? Because their lives are already full of purpose, self-reflection, and personal growth. They don't need someone to complete them. They want someone whole enough to walk beside them, not behind them. This is where most people tap out. Many seek relationships to feel safe, distracted, or validated. But a Sigma male's love requires resilience, independence, and self-awareness. If you're looking for a babysitter, a Sigma's not your guy. If you're seeking a partner in growth, challenge, and raw authenticity, then maybe, just maybe, you're ready. The Sigma love test isn't dramatic or flashy. It's quiet, but relentless. Can she respect his solitude without interpreting it as rejection? Can she match his energy without needing to control it? Can she handle a man who won't play by society's rules but still protects, provides, and perseveres? This is love stripped down, no filters, no fluff, just truth, loyalty, and adventure. And for those strong enough to embrace it, it's the rarest kind of love, one that transforms you. Point 3. The 5 stages of a Sigma's soulmate search. Stage 1. The deep isolation phase. Before love enters the equation, the Sigma male retreats into a realm of solitude. But this isn't some sad boy phase. It's intentional. Studies in psychology confirm that self-reflection and time spent alone lead to greater emotional clarity and self-awareness. While others rush into relationships for validation, the Sigma uses isolation as a furnace for growth. He's journaling, meditating, hiking alone, choosing silence over noise. This is refinement, not retreat. Stage 2, silent observation. Here, the Sigma becomes the human lie detector. According to behavioral experts, 93% of communication is nonverbal, and the Sigma picks up on all of it. He watches not just what people say, but how they act when no one's watching. Are they kind to strangers? Do their values match their actions? The Sigma doesn't judge, he reads. And from this silent observation, he filters authenticity from performance. Stage 3, spiritual alignment. Forget casual hookups. Sigma males are looking for sacred partnerships. Spiritual intimacy, studies show, is a major predictor of long-term relationship satisfaction. The Sigma wants more than chemistry. He seeks resonance. They connect over stillness, meditation, shared silence, and a reverence for life's deeper mysteries. It's not about religion, it's about rhythm. Stage 4, the intellectual lock-in mental stimulation is non-negotiable. Can she discuss Plato and artificial intelligence in the same breath? The Sigma's brain is a high-speed train. He's not looking for a passenger, but a co-pilot. Research shows intellectual compatibility is essential for emotional depth. He needs novelty, curiosity, and a little mental chaos. Stage 5, mutual freedom. True love to the Sigma is chosen, not possessed. The healthiest relationships, psychologists agree, are those with interdependence, not codependence. They're two strong individuals orbiting the same star. Apart or together, the connection doesn't fade, it evolves. Point 4, where does a Sigma find his soulmate? Here's a plot twist. Not at a club, not on Tinder, and definitely not in a room full of forced smiles. You meet her when you're fully immersed in being you. It's when you're hiking a mountain trail with nothing but the wind in your ears, or pouring your soul into a passion project that barely makes sense to anyone else, but lights a fire inside you. Maybe you're tucked in the corner of a quiet cafe, deep in a book while the rest of the world scrolls through their feeds. Love often finds you not when you're searching for it, but when you're aligned with your purpose. There's even psychological grounding for this. Self-actualization in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you're fulfilling your potential, living authentically, and acting out of passion rather than pressure, you radiate something powerful. In sociology, it's called attractiveness through self-differentiation, being unapologetically yourself. That's when you become magnetic, volunteering at a shelter, learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu, meditating in a quiet monastery overseas. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're not performing. You're just evolving. And then, boom, she appears. Not because you begged for it, not because you played some dating app algorithm, but because you became a living example of your values. You're not attracting a partner, you're attracting a reflection, someone on your wavelength. A person who's also done the work, healed the wounds, and is walking their path. It's not about chasing love, it's about creating the kind of life that love wants to be part of. So keep building, keep becoming. The universe tends to deliver when you least expect it, and most deserve it. Because when you live your truth, she doesn't just notice, she's drawn to it. Point 5, Sigma love, what makes it so rare? Here's what makes Sigma love different. First, it's not transactional. In a world where relationships often hinge on status, beauty, or benefits, Sigma love stands apart. A Sigma male doesn't fall for someone because she enhances his social image. He connects with her soul. It's about depth, not display. He values character over charisma and essence over appearance. Second, it's not possessive. While others may cling out of fear or insecurity, Sigma love gives space. That's because a Sigma understands that love grows in freedom, not control. He doesn't need to monitor every move or dominate her time. He trusts her to bloom on her own and still choose him every day. Third, it's not loud. Don't expect grand declarations or flashy Instagram posts. Sigma love is quiet but powerful. While the world may not see it, the connection is intense and unmistakable between the two involved. Their loyalty runs deep, even in silence. Fourth, it's timeless. While many modern relationships collapse over ego or external pressures, Sigma love endures. It's rooted in shared values and emotional maturity, not fleeting trends. This kind of love gets stronger with time, not weaker. Fifth, it's honest. No games, no hidden agendas. Sigma males value truth above all. Their love is raw, sincere, and unfiltered, sometimes uncomfortable, always real. Ultimately, Sigma love is not about changing who you are for someone. It's about becoming even more of yourself with someone who truly sees and accepts you. Point 6, what Sigma males should look for in a soulmate. Listen, Sigmas, you're not just looking for a pretty face. You're looking for something far deeper, something rare. Emotional maturity is first. She doesn't crumble when you go quiet. She doesn't flood your phone with messages demanding attention. She understands the value of space, of solitude. Psychologists say emotional maturity involves self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to regulate one's emotions. Qualities a Sigma male respects because he embodies them himself. Next is independence. She's not waiting for a knight in shining armor. She's building her own empire. According to research from the Pew Research Center, more women are pursuing careers, education, and entrepreneurial paths than ever before. A Sigma doesn't want to carry someone. He wants to walk alongside her. Then there's curiosity. She questions the world, challenges perspectives, and refuses to settle for surface-level thinking. It's not about being a know-it-all, it's about being a learn-it-all. Curious minds spark intellectual chemistry, and that's the kind of connection Sigma males thrive on. Kindness isn't just how she treats you, it's how she treats the waitress, the janitor, and the elderly stranger crossing the street. True character shines in how one treats those who can offer nothing in return. And Sigmas, they see through fake niceness fast. Lastly, silence compatibility. You're both in a room, no words exchanged, yet everything feels whole. That kind of peaceful energy is gold. It's not awkward, it's sacred. Because when connection runs that deep, words become optional. So no, Sigmas, you're not after the usual, you're after something real. Point 7. What a Sigma's love feels like to a woman. Here's the secret most people don't understand. When a Sigma male truly loves a woman, it heals her. And not because he sets out to fix her. No, Sigmas aren't saviors in shining armor. They're lone wolves who understand the power of presence. His love is healing because it's rooted in depth, stillness, and unwavering authenticity. What makes the Sigma's love different is this: he sees her. Not the polished version she shows the world, not the image she curates online, but the raw, real, unfiltered version. The one who's been bruised by expectations, pressured by appearances, and worn out by chasing perfection. A Sigma male doesn't demand her to change or evolve into someone else. Instead, he creates a safe emotional space where she doesn't feel the need to perform. She doesn't have to fake confidence or exaggerate her strengths to earn affection. With him, she can finally exhale. She can. Psychologists call this emotional safety, a key factor in deep connection and healing. When a woman is in a relationship where she feels seen and not judged, her nervous system relaxes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, lowers, and oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises. Her body literally begins to heal, emotionally and physiologically. Why? Because the Sigma loves her truth, not her potential, not who she might become, but who she already is. And that changes everything. She begins to trust herself again. She reclaims the parts of her she once hid, and in that acceptance she grows. That's powerful, Sigmas. Because real healing doesn't come from rescuing someone, it comes from truly loving them exactly as they are, and that's your quiet superpower. Point 8, the challenges Sigma males face in love. Your path isn't easy, and that's the truth. Sigma males walk a road that most people don't understand, let alone appreciate. You don't follow the crowd, you don't crave attention, you value solitude, self-mastery, and authenticity. But here's the catch. The very things that make you powerful also make you misunderstood. Some women will misread your silence as arrogance. They'll think your independence means you don't care. But the truth is your solitude is where you recharge, think deeply, and plan your next move. You're not cold, you're intentional, there's a difference. Others will be drawn to your depth. They'll love the way you see the world, the way you challenge the status quo. But when that intensity begins to reflect back on them, they'll panic. Why? Because your presence forces people to confront parts of themselves they've kept buried. Not everyone is ready for that level of honesty. Then there are those who, seeing how high you fly, will try to clip your wings. They'll shame your ambition, question your choices, or guilt trip you into conformity. But make no mistake, this isn't love, this is control dressed up as concern. So don't shrink, Sigmas. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Real love doesn't ask you to become less. Your soulmate? She's rare, but she exists. She won't try to change you. She won't be intimidated by your strength. Instead, she'll look at you and say, "Fly, my love, I'll meet you in the clouds." Because she's not threatened by your wings. She's got her own. Stay the course. Keep flying. The right one will rise with you, not hold you down. Point 9. When a Sigma finds her, it's unstoppable. When a Sigma male finally meets the one who truly understands his depth, it's not an explosion of instant chemistry or a whirlwind romance. It's something far more rare and enduring. It's a slow-burning galaxy, a deep, quiet, gravitational pull that intensifies with time. Sigma males are known for their independence, emotional depth, and aversion to superficiality. They don't chase validation through flashy posts or public declarations. For them, love isn't performance. It's presence. When he finds a partner who resonates with his wavelength, their connection becomes a force of nature, unshaken by trends, distance, or noise. Psychologically, Sigma males operate on a high level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Studies have shown that individuals with these traits tend to value meaningful long-term connections over fleeting passion. That's why when a Sigma commits, it's with intention. He's not playing games. He's building something that lasts. They don't need to flaunt their bond. There are no matching Instagram bios or choreographed couple videos. Their love is quiet but powerful. It radiates through how they show up for each other every day, how they respect space, support dreams, and protect peace. Together they become a unit with purpose. Not loud, not flashy, just focused. Sigmas are builders by nature of ideas, movements, businesses, and legacies. When they find someone who aligns with that vision, they become unstoppable. They create, they protect, they build, they inspire, and most of all, they do it without needing a stage. That's what makes it all the more powerful. It's real, not because it's broadcasted to the world, but because it doesn't have to be. This is what happens when a Sigma finds his match, not just romance, but a lifelong alliance fueled by purpose, peace, and quiet power. So, Sigma, if you're still waiting for your soulmate, don't rush. Work on your mission, sharpen your soul, live your truth. And trust me, when she shows up, you'll know, because you won't feel fireworks. You'll feel home. If this resonated with you, Sigmas, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join our ever-growing community of men who live with depth, power, and purpose. Let's keep inspiring each other to live not loudly, but authentically. Stay true and stay Sigma. Greetings, Sigmas. Let's be real. Have you ever wondered why most women just don't get you and why that one rare woman stands out like a diamond in the dark? What kind of woman can match the energy of a lone wolf who doesn't follow the pack, who builds his empire in silence? Picture this, you're at a social event. Everyone's trying to impress, talk over each other, and clout chase. But you're observing, silent, watching it all unfold like a movie you've seen before. You're not playing their game because you built your own. And just when you think there's no one here on your frequency, she walks in, calm, confident, unbothered. She doesn't need to be seen, but you see her. That's her, the only woman strong enough to be with a Sigma male. Today we're diving into who she is, why she's so rare, and what makes her the only match for a man who doesn't fit into the alpha-beta narrative. We'll explore the core of the Sigma male lifestyle, the traits she must have, the spiritual chemistry between these two outliers, and what makes this dynamic powerful yet elusive. Let's break it down. Before we define her, we've got to understand you, Sigmas. You're not anti-social. You're selectively social. You're not lonely. You're alone by choice. You're not trying to dominate the room. You're mastering your craft in the shadows. Sigmas operate outside the social hierarchy. They're self-reliant, introspective, and fiercely independent. You don't chase validation. You don't follow rules. You rewrite them. And when it comes to love, you don't fall for the loudest woman in the room. You fall for the one who doesn't need attention to feel complete. So let's meet her. Number one, she respects space, not fears it. The Sigma male needs space like he needs air. It's not a preference, it's a requirement. Silence isn't awkward for him, it's sacred. It's where he hears his own thoughts, recalibrates his mission, and sharpens his purpose. When he disappears for days, it's not to play mind games. He's not ghosting, punishing, or manipulating. He's retreating to refuel. Whether he's working on a business idea, reading 5 books in a weekend, training his body, or simply detaching from the relentless buzz of society, his solitude is strategic. Psychology calls it self-regulation, a mental reset that fuels creativity and clarity. Now here's where most relationships crack. When he doesn't respond to a text right away, the average woman spirals. Is he losing interest? Is something wrong? But a woman who truly understands the Sigma energy doesn't just tolerate space, she honors it. She's not threatened by distance because she's secure in herself. She sees silence as part of his process, not a sign of disconnection. In fact, she mirrors that independence. She's building too. She's not obsessed with constant updates or emotional babysitting. She gets it. Growth happens in solitude. And here's the truth. For a Sigma, peace is the love language, not clinginess, not codependency, not over-communication. He doesn't want to be possessed. He wants to be respected. If you suffocate him, he'll vanish. But if you give him room to breathe, he'll return more powerful, more focused, and more devoted than ever. Because when a Sigma knows you understand his silence, he knows he's found something rare. Number two, she has a life of her own. Sigmas aren't babysitters. They're not looking to raise someone else's self-esteem or manage emotional chaos. A Sigma male is a lone wolf by nature, independent, mission-driven, and allergic to drama. That's why he's not drawn to women who are merely seeking attention, affection, or someone to complete them. He's drawn to women with ambition, women who have a mission, not just mascara. The woman who captures a Sigma's interest is one who's building her own empire. She's not waiting around for someone to validate her existence. She's creating impact, pursuing purpose, and walking in power. Her identity isn't tied to her relationship status. It's anchored in her goals. And that's exactly what makes her magnetic to a Sigma. Studies in social psychology show that individuals with a high internal locus of control, those who believe they are responsible for their own success, tend to thrive in leadership and entrepreneurial roles. This is the kind of energy a Sigma male respects. He's not looking for dependency. He's looking for compatibility. This woman doesn't orbit his world. She has her own galaxy. And when those galaxies collide, it's not chaos. It's a strategic alliance. They don't complete each other. They complement each other. She doesn't need to be saved. She's the kind of woman who saves herself. And Sigmas? They deeply admire that, because in a world full of noise and neediness, nothing stands out more to a Sigma male than a woman who stands firmly on her own 2 feet. Their connection, it's not built on emotional crutches. It's forged in mutual respect, independence, and shared vision. Number 3, emotionally intelligent, not emotionally explosive. Drama is repellent to the Sigma male, not because he's emotionally distant, but because he's emotionally disciplined. He's witnessed how unchecked emotions can detonate even the most promising relationships. Raised on logic and matured through solitude, the Sigma male has learned that peace isn't just a preference, it's a strategy. He doesn't entertain yelling matches or emotional manipulation. He's not impressed by tantrums or swayed by crocodile tears. The woman who captures his attention is the one who's mastered the art of emotional intelligence. That means she understands her own feelings, can express them clearly, and listens without the need to dominate. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is a psychological concept defined as the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions, both in oneself and in others. According to psychologist Daniel Goleman, people with high EQ tend to have better relationships and decision-making skills. This is crucial for the Sigma male, who values depth over drama. In conflict, he doesn't want a fight. He wants a resolution. And the right woman for him doesn't just react, she responds with intentionality. She doesn't twist her words to wound or play power games. Instead, she communicates with clarity and calm, which is rare and therefore magnetic to the Sigma. Calm, after all, is a superpower in a world addicted to noise. The Sigma male doesn't need chaos to feel alive. He thrives in environments where peace reigns and logic guides decisions. And when he finds a woman who understands this, who brings harmony instead of havoc, that's when a deep, powerful connection can truly unfold. He doesn't fall for the loudest voice in the room. He falls for the calm in the storm. Number 4, she's mysterious, not needy. Let's be honest, Sigma males don't do clingy. They thrive in solitude, not because they're antisocial, but because they're self-contained. These men value depth over drama and substance over superficiality. That's why the woman who truly captures a Sigma male's attention isn't the one blowing up his phone or tagging him in every meme. She's the one who moves like a poem, quiet, layered, and impossible to forget. This woman doesn't chase. She doesn't need to. Her allure lies in her subtlety. She has an aura that sparks curiosity, not desperation. Psychologically speaking, mystery activates the brain's dopamine system, the same reward center triggered by goals and challenges. A Sigma male, who often thrives on intellectual stimulation, finds this dynamic irresistibly engaging. Her silence isn't cold, it's composed. Her stories aren't told all at once, they're discovered like secret chapters in a novel. She's complex, not complicated, and yes, there's a big difference. A complicated person creates confusion and conflict. Their emotional roller coasters become your problem. But a complex woman? She's rich in experience, layered in perspective, and emotionally self-aware. She's been through things, learned from them, and now carries herself with quiet strength. That depth isn't baggage, it's wisdom. Sigma males appreciate this. They don't want someone who needs constant validation or proximity. They seek a partner who is complete within herself. Someone who doesn't orbit their world, but rather invites them into a universe of her own. In the end, the woman who wins a Sigma isn't the loudest in the room. She's the one who doesn't try to win him at all. She's just authentic, intriguing, and self-possessed. And to a Sigma male, that's not just attractive, that's unforgettable. Number 5, high-value energy. Sigma males don't chase status, rather they attract energy. The women who captivate them exude a unique high-frequency energy that stands out effortlessly. It's not about competing with others or showing off material possessions. Instead, these women radiate confidence, authenticity, and a quiet strength that doesn't need to be announced. Their aura is magnetic. The Sigma male sees this energy long before words are exchanged. Why? Because real recognizes real. It's a deeper connection, not reliant on surface-level attraction. Sigma males are naturally attuned to authenticity, so when they encounter a woman who is grounded in her own truth, they recognize it instantly. It's the subtle yet undeniable pull that comes from her unshakable self-assurance and inner peace. This high-frequency energy is magnetic because it's genuine. Women who carry this energy are not trying to impress, they're simply being their true selves, and that speaks volumes to the Sigma male. He respects this power, and in turn he doesn't chase or compete. He simply appreciates and is drawn to the energy that's naturally present. It's a connection based on mutual recognition and understanding of one another's true essence. Number 6, she doesn't try to change him. Most women, when they encounter a Sigma male, may think, he's amazing or once I fix him. But this is the wrong approach. Sigma males are not puzzles to be solved. They are not looking for someone to change them or mold them into something they are not. Instead, the right woman for a Sigma will understand and accept him as he is. The silence of a Sigma male is not a flaw, it's a function of his personality. He values introspection, self-reflection, and often processes his thoughts internally before expressing them. This is not an issue to fix, but a characteristic to appreciate. Similarly, his independence is not a form of rebellion or resistance to commitment. It's simply who he is. A Sigma thrives when given the space to pursue his own path and follow his own values. He doesn't need constant validation or external direction to feel secure. The key to being with a Sigma male is not trying to control or change him. Instead, the ideal partner will flow with his rhythm, respect his need for solitude, and support his individuality. In return, this allows a deep connection built on mutual understanding and respect, without the need for unnecessary compromises. Number 7, loyalty over luxury. Sigma males are known for their strong sense of independence and self-reliance, and this trait extends to their relationships. They don't get swayed by superficial things like designer clothes or flashy displays of wealth. Instead, they value loyalty above all else. For them, actions speak louder than material possessions or social media validation. When it comes to the right woman, she's not someone who's only present when things are easy. She's the kind of person who shows up during the storm, supporting her partner when challenges arise and staying true through thick and thin. A true partner, she doesn't need constant public displays of affection or validation on platforms like Instagram. Her love is shown in the quiet moments, in how she uplifts her partner, and in her commitment behind closed doors. Sigma males appreciate a woman who values substance over optics. It's not about how the relationship looks from the outside, but about the deeper connection they share. She's protective of what they've built together, cherishing it without the need to showcase it to the world. In a relationship with a Sigma male, loyalty, trust, and genuine connection are everything. Number 8, deep thinker, not surface level. A Sigma male thrives on mental stimulation. For him, a relationship isn't just about attraction or compatibility, it's about engaging conversations that push boundaries. He needs a woman who isn't afraid to dive into complex topics, challenge his perspectives, and explore new ideas. A woman who can debate philosophy, question societal norms, and question life's deeper meanings. That's the kind of woman a Sigma male values. But what really sets the Sigma's ideal partner apart? It's her ability to challenge him intellectually, not to undermine his masculinity. A strong woman for a Sigma doesn't follow trends or simply go along with the crowd. Instead, she questions the status quo, thinks for herself, and isn't afraid to voice her opinions. This doesn't mean she is combative or dismissive of his views, but she isn't afraid to respectfully disagree and offer her own insights. This dynamic creates a relationship based on respect, growth, and mutual admiration for each other's intellect. For a Sigma, the strongest connections are built on shared curiosity, the exchange of ideas, and a willingness to think deeply about the world. That kind of intellectual bond is rare and it's priceless. Number 9, spiritually grounded. A Sigma male's true power often thrives in solitude, where he can tap into his inner wisdom and strength. But what many don't realize is that his sense of self is deeply connected to something far greater than just the material world. He's attuned to a higher purpose. This spiritual alignment is key to his existence. Unlike those who are driven solely by physical attraction, the Sigma male values depth and meaning in his relationships. For a woman to truly resonate with him, she must embody similar qualities. She's not someone who simply fits conventional standards of beauty or status. Instead, she's grounded in her own sense of purpose, faith, or a deep understanding of life. This isn't a person who gets lost in surface-level appearances. She's soulful, someone who seeks to connect on a level that transcends the ordinary. The bond between a Sigma male and this type of woman is much more than physical chemistry. It's divine. Their connection is based on mutual respect, shared values, and a sense of alignment with something greater. Together they form a partnership that goes beyond the superficial, rooted in authenticity and spiritual depth. Number 10, she chooses him, but doesn't need him. Sigmas understand the importance of mutual respect and self-sufficiency in relationships. They value women who are whole within themselves, not those who seek external validation or dependency. A strong woman in the Sigma male's eyes isn't chasing after someone to fill an emotional gap or complete her identity. She is already complete, confident, and self-assured. This makes her attractive not only because of her independence, but also because of her ability to bring something meaningful to the table. This dynamic creates a rare and powerful bond. When two self-sufficient individuals come together, the relationship isn't about completing one another, it's about elevating each other to new heights. They each have their own identity, goals, and passions, but they come together as a united force. In this partnership, there's no power struggle or imbalance. Instead, there's an exchange of respect, support, and encouragement. For Sigmas, the appeal of this type of woman lies in her ability to stand on her own while being able to contribute to a partnership. They don't have to constantly reassure her or be her emotional crutch. Instead, she brings strength, wisdom, and her own unique energy, making their connection even more profound. In fact, the idea of a power couple isn't about dependence. It's about two individuals who excel in their own lives, but choose to combine forces for something greater. They understand that together they can achieve more. This mutual respect and strength are what make a Sigma male and a strong, independent woman an unstoppable pair. They're not filling voids, they're amplifying each other's greatness, creating something truly exceptional. When a Sigma meets the right woman, the dynamic is electric, but not in an over-the-top way. It's calm, rare, and strong. There's a connection that goes beyond the typical fireworks. It's genuine and grounded. Sigmas don't seek someone to complete them. They need someone who complements them, understanding their need for space and independence. There's no drama, no need for attention, just real, unfiltered interaction. It's the kind of bond that most people will never truly understand, but that's perfectly fine because neither of them seeks the spotlight. Instead, they focus on building something significant behind the scenes. Remember, Sigmas, not every woman deserves access to your world. Your solitude, your path, and your love are sacred. Share them only with someone who truly values your silence, understands your depth, and appreciates your strength. Wait for that rare, real connection. Keep your standards high, your circle tight, and your mind sharp. Stay true to yourself. Stay Sigma. Sigmas, ever had a woman go from hot to cold faster than Wi-Fi in the woods? Let's decode this emotional whiplash. Why do women who once pursued you like the last episode of their favorite Netflix drama suddenly pull a disappearing act? It's not because you lack something, it's because you carry too much of what most can't handle. Sigma males are enigmas, independent, self-reliant, and uninterested in social dominance games. While alphas thrive on leadership and betas on belonging, Sigmas thrive in solitude and self-mastery. That silent confidence, it's attractive until it becomes intimidating. Studies in psychology show that unpredictability and emotional depth attract interest, but they also spark anxiety. Many women are used to relational predictability. When a Sigma male doesn't chase, doesn't overshare, and doesn't need validation, it can create emotional dissonance. They may start wondering, why isn't he trying to impress me? That uncertainty can be thrilling at first, but exhausting over time. Add to that the Sigma's tendency to prioritize purpose over people. Your drive, goals, and introspection may make you seem distant. Not because you don't care, but because you're not performing for attention. Here's the twist. This isn't a flaw. It's your filter. The ones who stay, they're not there for a performance. They're there for the real you. So if a woman loses interest because she can't decode your depth, let her. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be respected by the few who get it. Welcome to the Sigma way. Reason 1, you don't play the chase me game. Most guys thrive on attention, likes, texts, double taps, and constant validation. It's a dopamine rush they've grown to crave, but Sigma males, they ghost their phones like they're a haunted mansion, not out of rudeness, but because attention isn't their fuel, purpose is. In today's dating culture, many women have been conditioned by media, romance tropes, and social norms to expect pursuit. The classic narrative says, if he likes you, he chases you. So when a Sigma doesn't flood the inbox with texts or compliments, some women read it as disinterest. But to a Sigma male, silence isn't neglect, it's discipline. He's not ignoring you, he's focused. Sigma males are internally driven, mission-oriented, and allergic to distractions. They prioritize goals over games and purpose over popularity. Their time isn't spent crafting the perfect reply. It's invested in personal growth, deep work, and high standards. This doesn't mean they're emotionally unavailable, it means they operate on a different frequency. To them, texting back every 5 minutes isn't a love language, it's an energy leak. Here's where the irony hits. Doing nothing, no chasing, no begging, no breadcrumbing becomes powerfully attractive. In a world full of noise, the Sigma's silence is thunderous. His peace is often mistaken for passivity, yet it radiates confidence, and that can be intimidating. Psychologically, people often equate unpredictability with excitement. When the expected chase doesn't happen, it creates curiosity. The Sigma male doesn't play hard to get, he's hard to get, because he's busy being. So next time someone thinks you're distant, remember, you're not disinterested, you're just invested in something deeper. And in the long game, that kind of focus is magnetic. Reason 2, your silence is louder than words. Have you ever sat across from someone and said nothing, yet somehow said everything? That's the Sigma male in a nutshell. Sigmas are thinkers, observers, listeners. In a world that glorifies noise, the Sigma finds power in silence. While most men are eagerly explaining their gym stats or their half-baked crypto theories, the Sigma is tuned into a different frequency, one of awareness, presence, and perception. This quiet presence isn't just a personality trait, it's rooted in psychology. Studies in nonverbal communication show that over 70% of communication is nonverbal. So when a Sigma sits in silence, he's not withdrawing, he's communicating. Eye contact, body language, and tone, these speak volumes without a single word. Women who are used to being entertained or praised may find this unnerving. They might wonder, but that's the twist. Sigmas aren't performing, they're being. They're not chasing approval, they're anchored in self-worth. That kind of self-assurance is rare and it's magnetic. It also confuses people. Much like deep water, Sigmas can seem intimidating. People fear what they can't read or control. When someone can't instantly place you in a category or predict your next move, it makes them uneasy. And that's where the Sigma thrives. In mystery, not in attention. Ultimately, the Sigma's silence isn't emptiness, it's depth. Still waters run deep, and while others are splashing on the surface, the Sigma male is diving into the unseen currents of human behavior, emotion, and truth, and that's what makes him unforgettable. Reason 3, you prioritize purpose over partnership. Sigma males aren't drifting through life without direction. They don't just work for the weekend or live paycheck to paycheck. They're on a mission, strategically building legacies, not just careers. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about being driven, whether it's launching a startup, writing a novel, mastering a skill, or changing the world one silent move at a time. Sigma males are deeply aligned with a higher purpose. Their energy is focused, intentional, and anchored in long-term impact. And yes, while Sigma males can care deeply for a woman, their world doesn't revolve around relationship drama, emotional manipulation, or fleeting social trends. If she's trying to be the center of his universe, expecting him to abandon his goals for her mood swings or TikTok aspirations, he's not playing along. That's not selfish, it's strategic. Studies in psychology reveal that people with high conscientiousness, like Sigma males, are goal-oriented, disciplined, and resilient. They prioritize meaning over momentary pleasure. That's why brunch dates and selfies don't compete with building an empire or writing history. This mindset unsettles people who want to be worshipped instead of walking beside someone on a mission. When they see that you won't derail your legacy for approval, they back off. And that's fine, because Sigma males aren't chasing validation, they're chasing legacy, a future where their actions echo beyond them, a life that stands for something. So if it comes down to likes or legacies, you already know the answer. Legacies over likes every single time. Every reason for. You expose insecurities without saying a word. Here's the hard truth, Sigmas. You don't have to say a word. Your mere presence, calm, grounded, and self-assured, speaks volumes. In a world fueled by noise, ego, and attention-seeking, your quiet strength disrupts the pattern, and that disruption, it makes people uncomfortable. Psychologically speaking, humans tend to mirror others in social settings. When someone like you walks in, centered, confident, and uninterested in validation, it creates a silent contrast. Suddenly, people become aware of their own internal noise. You're not chasing approval, likes, or shallow affirmation. That alone makes you a mirror, and not everyone is ready for what that reflection reveals. Some women, especially those used to being admired just for existing, feel unsettled. Not because you're rude or indifferent, but because your lack of need exposes their own insecurities. Your energy challenges them to grow, but growth takes effort, and not everyone is ready to climb. Instead of matching your strength, many retreat. They label you as cold, mysterious, or arrogant. But let's be clear, it's not rejection you're facing. It's resistance to self-confrontation. Behavioral science calls this ego threat. When someone reminds us of what we're not yet, it feels uncomfortable. And your presence? It's a living reminder of emotional control, clarity, and independence. That's a high bar, and many would rather avoid it than rise to meet it. But don't shrink. Your presence is a silent invitation to elevate. If others choose not to accept it, that's on them, not you. Reason 5, you're not emotionally available on demand. Why won't he open up? Because he's not a vending machine of emotions, that's why. Sigma males are often misunderstood when it comes to emotional expression. They feel deeply, but unlike others who may process feelings through constant conversation, Sigmas internalize, they reflect, they analyze. And most importantly, they share their emotions with, not by default. It's not that they're emotionally unavailable. On the contrary, many Sigma males have high emotional intelligence. The key difference is that they prioritize emotional privacy and boundaries. According to psychologists, people with introverted personality traits like Sigma males tend to process emotions internally before expressing them. They need to trust someone deeply before opening up, and that trust is not handed out quickly. This approach can confuse or frustrate those who expect instant vulnerability. In today's fast-paced, oversharing culture, where emotional transparency is sometimes equated with authenticity, Sigma males appear reserved. People may ask, why won't he open up? Not realizing they're asking for something deeply sacred. Access to a mind that doesn't just react, but evaluates. Think of it like this. Most people want the streaming version of connection, fast, emotionally intense, and immediate. Sigma males, they offer the hardcover edition, slower, denser, but ultimately more meaningful and lasting. When a Sigma opens up, it's not drama, it's depth. You're not getting recycled stories meant to impress. You're getting real emotion, filtered through introspection and maturity, and that's rare. This doesn't mean Sigma males don't want connection. In fact, they often crave it, but only on authentic terms. Relationships built on emotional impulsiveness feel unstable to them. They'd rather observe, build trust, and then slowly reveal themselves layer by layer. So if you're wondering why he's not opening up yet, be patient. What he's offering isn't surface-level chatter, it's soul-level truth, and when it arrives, it's worth every second of the wait. Reason 6, your freedom isn't fake. You don't pretend to be independent, you take solo trips not to prove a point, but because you genuinely enjoy the clarity that comes from being alone. You walk through airports, navigate strange cities, and eat meals at corner cafes, all without needing a partner in tow. And you don't just survive those experiences, you thrive in them. This kind of self-sufficiency makes people uncomfortable. Why? Because in a world where validation often comes from likes, texts, and constant interaction, your ability to disconnect and recharge alone is quietly revolutionary. Psychologists call this the ability to regulate your emotions, fulfill your needs, and find joy without relying on others. It's a core trait of emotionally mature individuals, and it's also a hallmark of Sigma personality types. Studies in personality psychology suggest that people who exhibit high levels of autonomy often rank high in traits like openness and conscientiousness, but lower in neuroticism and social dependency. When you can walk away from the noise, sit in silence, and not feel lonely, you become immune to many forms of emotional manipulation. That's where the tension begins. For those who feel incomplete without constant companionship, your freedom is threatening. It exposes their emotional reliance. They may admire your independence at first, but over time, admiration can turn to resentment when they realize they can't attach themselves to you in the way they're used to. Dependency doesn't know how to connect with freedom, it only knows how to cling. So when it meets someone who doesn't want anyone to feel whole, it loses interest. Not because you're lacking, but because they can't latch on to your self-contained energy. You don't disappear to escape anyone. You vanish to reconnect with yourself. And when you return, you bring back stories that don't require validation, applause, or even an audience. You just live. And that in itself is radical. Reason 7, you don't fit into traditional roles. The world has a tendency to dictate what women should look for in a partner, a man who leads, provides, and dominates. This idea of the traditional man is often based on rigid expectations with a clear-cut image of what a man should be. However, if you're a woman who's not interested in fitting that mold, this societal pressure can feel stifling. You're not just another person to check off a list. You are something much deeper, something much more complex. Think of yourself as a blueprint that has never been seen before. You're not designed to fit into conventional boxes. This can be incredibly freeing, but also a little daunting for those around you. While others may gravitate toward the idea of a strong, decisive alpha or a docile, supportive partner, you exist outside these parameters, creating a unique space for yourself. You won't settle into the alpha role that society expects. The term alpha male has often been used to describe someone who leads with dominance and control, but this doesn't necessarily mean it's the right role for everyone. There's a misconception that to be powerful, one must exude control over others or rely on traditional masculine traits like physicality and dominance. But in reality, true strength often lies in resilience, adaptability, and emotional intelligence, traits that go unnoticed when people only look at external power dynamics. Equally, you're not about to become someone's emotional project. Too often, women are expected to either be the nurturer or the one who provides emotional stability. While these are certainly admirable qualities, they shouldn't define your existence or dictate your relationships. You don't need to be someone's emotional fix-it tool to feel valued or fulfilled. Instead, you're your own person, whole, capable, and self-aware. This approach can make you something of an enigma. People, especially those with traditional viewpoints, don't always know how to label you. They are used to compartmentalizing personalities, to simplifying human complexity into neat boxes. But you don't fit those labels. You challenge the very system that seeks to define people by their roles. You are a paradox, one that simultaneously confounds and intrigues those around you. This paradoxical nature is what captivates attention, both intriguing and unsettling at times. Women may find themselves fascinated by this approach, initially drawn in by the mystery of it all. But with time, this can become confusing for them. It's harder to figure out who you are and how to relate to you when you don't fit the mold they expect. You don't follow the script, and that's what makes you so powerful. Instead of conforming, you are redefining what it means to be a partner, a woman, and an individual in today's world. Reason 8, your detachment feels like rejection. Some women find it hard to relate to your calm, steady presence. They seek intensity, drama, and that whirlwind romance filled with highs and lows. But you bring something entirely different, something they might not fully understand at first. You bring calm, steadiness, and logic. You're not caught up in the chaos of emotional roller coasters, and you don't obsess over fleeting moments. Instead, you simply observe, quietly and mindfully. This emotional detachment can be misinterpreted. While others might mistake it for indifference or coldness, it's actually a sign of self-mastery. The ability to stay composed in the midst of emotional turmoil is not a lack of feeling, it's the power of controlling your reactions, not allowing external chaos to define your internal state. Let's face it, in today's world, drama often gets mistaken for passion, and emotional volatility is often seen as a sign of investment. But you, with your level-headed approach, see beyond the theatrics. You're not interested in jumping on every emotional bandwagon. Instead, you choose how to respond, how to engage, and when to invest. And here's the twist. What many perceive as emotional detachment is actually emotional intelligence in action. It's the art of mastering your feelings, knowing that your inner world doesn't have to be affected by the turbulence of others. You've learned that true strength comes from within, not from external validation or drama. This doesn't mean you don't feel deeply. It means you've learned how to handle your emotions with wisdom and maturity. To some, this emotional distance might make you seem distant or aloof, but in reality, it's a form of self-respect. You value your peace and your emotional health too much to let every external influence dictate your state of being. Your steadiness in relationships, your calm demeanor, and your ability to stay grounded are signs of true emotional mastery. Now listen, Sigmas. If women have lost interest in you, don't see it as a failure. See it as a filter. You're not meant for everyone. You're meant for alignment, not attention. Every time someone exits your life because you were too mysterious, too independent, or too honest, that's the universe removing distractions from your path. Embrace it, own it, evolve through it. Because your journey isn't about being liked, it's about being legendary. Sigmas, if this video hit home, go ahead and punch that like button with the force of your inner calm. Subscribe to this channel for more insight into the mind of the lone wolf, and join a tribe that honors independence, purpose, and unapologetic authenticity. Apply these Sigma qualities to your life and watch the world adjust. Stay true and stay Sigma. She's not just interested, she's obsessed. Ever wondered why some men don't chase women, yet somehow women chase them with an intensity that feels almost unreal? That man is the Sigma male. Welcome, Sigmas. Today we're diving into the fascinating psychology behind why Sigma males have this magnetic pull, one so strong it flips traditional dating dynamics on their head. This isn't about cheesy pickup tactics or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about authentic power, silent, mysterious, and undeniable. Sigma males operate outside the social hierarchy. Unlike alpha males who dominate the spotlight, Sigmas master the art of detachment. Their independence, emotional self-control, and purpose-driven lifestyle make them incredibly attractive. Women aren't just drawn to their looks, they're pulled in by their aura, their quiet confidence, and their refusal to conform. According to evolutionary psychology, women are naturally attracted to traits like confidence, competence, and unpredictability, things Sigma males embody effortlessly. While others seek validation, Sigmas give none and need none. This creates a psychological tension that's irresistibly intriguing. It's what makes a woman wonder, why isn't he chasing me? And here's the secret. The Sigma male's strength is in his silence. He listens more than he speaks. He acts more than he brags. And he leads by example, not by force. This non-needy, mysterious energy triggers curiosity, admiration, and even obsession. So if you've ever felt like women treat you differently, watching you from a distance, trying to decode you, maybe even trying to prove themselves to you, you're not imagining it. You're a Sigma. And in this video, we'll break down 11 specific traits that explain why women don't just like Sigma males, they crave them. Ready to unlock the mystery? Let's begin. Number 1, the power of silence. You walk into a room and say nothing, yet everyone feels your presence. That's the art of Sigma silence. It's more than just being quiet. It's a powerful form of non-verbal communication. While others speak to gain approval or dominate the space, the Sigma male understands the value of restraint. In a world where noise is constant and attention is currency, silence becomes a rare and captivating force. It's not about arrogance or aloofness, it's about self-possession, the deep-rooted confidence that comes from knowing your value without having to prove it. Psychologically, silence triggers curiosity. Research in social psychology shows that people are naturally more drawn to those who speak less, especially in new or group settings. Why? Because mystery activates the brain's reward system. When a person offers less verbal information, others instinctively fill in the gaps, often with elevated assumptions. This makes the Sigma male appear more intelligent, more intriguing, and more in control. Women, in particular, are highly attuned to body language and subtle cues. A man who doesn't feel the need to announce his presence becomes a puzzle worth solving. His calm demeanor hints at depth, discipline, and emotional intelligence, all traits women find magnetic. This silent presence is also tied to status. In leadership studies, those who speak less but with purpose are perceived as more competent and trustworthy. The Sigma male, by not vying for approval, automatically sets himself apart from the pack. In essence, Sigma silence is the quiet roar of a man who knows who he is. He doesn't chase the spotlight, it follows him. And in that silence, a whole story is told without a single word. Number 2. He's not impressed by beauty. Let's face it, most guys lose their minds around a pretty face. But the Sigma male, he's built differently. He doesn't chase beauty, he observes it. He doesn't get pulled into the gravitational field of external charm because he's grounded in something deeper, self-awareness and emotional intelligence. You see, science shows that physical attractiveness can trigger dopamine release in the male brain. It's hardwired, but the Sigma male has trained his mind to look beyond that initial rush. He knows beauty fades, but character stays. And when a woman realizes she can't manipulate him with a flick of her hair or a charming smile, she's thrown off, but in a good way. Why? Because you're the first man who truly sees her. Not just her makeup, not her body, not her curated social media photos. You see her patterns, her emotional energy, her intentions, and that's powerful. Suddenly she's no longer in control of the dynamic. She can't play her usual games because you're not playing, you're observing, and that shifts everything. This doesn't mean you're cold or indifferent. It means you value authenticity. You respond to truth, not tactics. You're the kind of man who measures people by their depth, not their decoration. That's rare. And in a world where most men trip over themselves for attention, your self-control makes you magnetic. What really shakes her ego, in the best way, is realizing she finally met a man she can't fool. And instead of turning her away, it invites her to show up as her real self. That's the Sigma effect. It's not rejection, it's redirection. A wake-up call to stop performing and start connecting. And once she realizes that, you're unforgettable. Number 3, purpose over pleasure. While others chase women, you chase purpose. You're not out there trying to impress with empty words or flashy moves. You're focused. You're building something that lasts, whether it's a business, a skill, a body, or a mindset. This relentless drive speaks volumes. It tells the world and women that you have direction, discipline, and depth. And guess what? That's magnetic. Science backs this up. Studies in evolutionary psychology show that women are naturally drawn to men with status, ambition, and long-term potential. It's not about being rich, it's about being intentional. Purpose is power. It's masculine energy at its core, steady, grounded, forward-moving. You're sculpting your legacy in silence. No need to broadcast every move. The real ones will notice. The noise of the world doesn't distract you because your mission is louder than any temptation. That kind of focus, it's rare. And in a world full of attention seekers, your discipline sets you apart. Women don't want a man who chases them. They want a man chasing greatness because being by his side feels like being part of something meaningful. You're not avoiding relationships, you're filtering. You're not looking for attention. You're seeking alignment. That's the Sigma mindset, and that's irresistible. Number 4, mastery of the mind. Sigma males are thinkers, deep thinkers, philosophers in hoodies. You're not the type to take life at face value. You dissect it, examine its layers, and question the status quo. Your mind is your playground, constantly exploring ideas, analyzing human behavior, and reflecting on society's patterns. This depth makes you rare. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and shallow distractions, your intellectual depth stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. You're not interested in small talk. Your conversations feel more like mental marathons, stretching perspectives, diving into complex issues, and sparking curiosity. And believe it or not, that's magnetic. Research from the University of Iowa shows that intelligence and thoughtfulness are highly attractive traits, especially in long-term partners. Women don't just want looks. They want mental stimulation, someone who can challenge their views, broaden their horizons, and hold their interest beyond the surface. When you speak, you don't just fill silence, you ignite minds. A woman who connects with your intellect sees you as unforgettable, because mental intimacy is rarer than physical, and that's the edge you have. While others flex muscles, you flex thoughts. And that, my friend, is irresistible. Number 5, emotional control, equal sign emotional power. In a world overflowing with emotional outbursts and impulsive reactions, calmness is your superpower. It's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about having emotional control, and that's a rare trait. When you don't argue, you're not avoiding confrontation. You're choosing peace over chaos. When you don't beg or chase, it's not arrogance, it's self-respect. Instead of reacting, you observe. And when you finally speak, your words carry weight because they come from reflection, not reactivity. Psychologically, emotional regulation is linked to higher levels of intelligence and self-awareness. According to studies in emotional intelligence, those who master their responses tend to have better relationships and stronger leadership skills. That calm presence, it creates a sense of safety and stability. For many women, that calm confidence is incredibly attractive. It signals strength, maturity, and an element of mystery. Most people are quick to raise their voices or prove their worth, but when you remain composed, you flip the script. You become the grounded one in a sea of chaos. Your silence speaks volumes. Your energy demands respect. That's why your calmness isn't just a personality trait, it's a statement, a quiet kind of power that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Number 6, authenticity is magnetic. You're not here to impress anyone with flashy titles or fake charm. You're not playing a role, and you definitely don't wear masks. The Sigma male walks into the room as he is, raw, real, and unapologetically authentic. And in today's world, that's not just rare, it's revolutionary. We live in a society trained to conform. Social media promotes filters and fake personas. People are constantly curating highlight reels to earn validation. But the Sigma male, he's operating on a different frequency. He doesn't chase trends or approval. His power comes from knowing who he is and refusing to shrink himself for comfort. Psychologically, this kind of authenticity is known to foster trust and emotional safety. It's why people, especially women, are drawn to him. Studies have shown that women are biologically inclined to seek partners who display confidence and integrity, and nothing screams both louder than a man who's not trying to be anyone else. Your authenticity is magnetic. Why? Because it liberates others. When you show up real, people around you feel safe to do the same. And to a woman who's tired of games and facades, there's nothing more attractive than a man who is boldly, fearlessly, and consistently himself. Number 7, he values solitude over validation. You're not afraid to be alone. You actually prefer it. While most guys chase clout in crowded clubs, slide into endless DMs, or fish for compliments in comment sections, you find peace in your own presence. And here's the truth, that kind of energy is magnetic. Psychologists call it self-containment, the ability to enjoy solitude without feeling lonely. Studies show that people who embrace solitude often score higher in creativity, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Instead of wasting energy trying to impress others, you're investing it into mastering your craft, building your mindset, and elevating your life. While others are addicted to validation, you're addicted to growth. You understand that solitude sharpens vision. Great thinkers, leaders, and creators, from Nikola Tesla to Marcus Aurelius, spent large amounts of time alone. Not because they were antisocial, but because they understood that true power is developed in silence, not spotlight. Here's the irony. The man who doesn't chase attention is the one who attracts it effortlessly. People can feel when you're not needy. Your peace, your presence, your purpose. It speaks louder than words ever could. You're not just alone, you're aligned, and that's rare. Number 8, mystery creates intrigue. You don't overshare, you don't brag. You let your actions speak. This quiet confidence is magnetic. In a world obsessed with validation and oversharing online, your silence becomes power. Women, and people in general, are naturally drawn to mystery. Psychologists call this the information gap theory. When people sense there's something more to know about you, their curiosity kicks in. That curiosity fuels attraction. Women especially are wired to be intrigued by depth. When you don't lay your whole life out in one conversation, it creates tension. The good kind. It's like watching a thriller with unexpected plot twists. You become the book they can't stop reading. This doesn't mean being distant or cold. It means you reveal just enough to keep things interesting. When you speak, it has weight. When you act, it has purpose. And when you disappear for a while, your absence speaks louder than others' constant noise. Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about being intentional. When you live with purpose without needing applause, you become unforgettable. People remember how you made them feel, and with you,